Good morning. Hey, this is your host, Jeff Ski Kinsey, and it is another great day. As you can tell by the graphic, the month of August is over 83% gone, okay? If you were expecting to get something done in August, consider this a public service announcement. If you're trying to get something done in August, time's running out. So, as always, let's talk about energy. Not just fast charge energy, but electrical vehicles in general. There's a chart that shows that the adoption of EVs is likely to double in just the next 3 years. That's not only the US, but worldwide. So think of that. If there's, by some accounts, well, I don't want to quote numbers. Everywhere you look, you get a different number. But here's the bottom line. Trends typically do not lie. Okay, we like to say in the world of Goldrat's theory of constraints, which I consider a law, we like to point out the fact that every forecast is wrong. It is impossible, or very nearly impossible, to get a forecast correctly. But what you can do is you can predict some trends. Is the trend up or down? Okay, think back. If you woke up this morning and it was 1903, okay, you'd be thinking about, well, I got to get the horse fed. I got to get him up, get him saddled, get ready to go to work, on horseback. Okay, think about that. 1903, wasn't that long ago. So you wake up in 2003 and you go to work in the car. Okay, just 20 years later, okay, we were talking about 100 years ago. Now, just 20 years later, 2023, there's a significant portion of Americans waking up and going out to their electric car, their electric vehicle. And whatever that number is, and it's significant, and it varies by state, but it's significant, that number is going to double in the next 3 years. That's an adoption curve that says, hey, look at me. There's a lot of money over here to be made, so pay attention. And at FastCharge.Support, we are paying attention. So the bottom line is we can put in a fast charger for you, with you, and get it done quickly, securely, and with something that, to my knowledge, no one else is offering. And that is a concierge service. So that says we're going to check on your chargers. We're going to make sure they're up. We're going to have spare parts. Guess what? When NEVI, the NEVI, the National EV Infrastructure Bill was passed, they put in a clause that there's only one company, to my knowledge, and I've been studying this in great detail, my team has, excuse me, there's only one company that can meet the service level agreement of the NEVI contract. It requires a 97% uptime. Okay? Only Tesla can honor that number today. I reached out to somebody at the state of Ohio. It's called Drive Ohio, the NEVI administration here in Ohio, and they've awarded a number of contracts, millions of dollars. And I said, well, what did you do about the fact that they can't meet the service level agreement? And the person said, well, that's the contract. I said, yeah, but did you make any special considerations, any waivers? How did you address the fact that they're not able, it's not possible for this company that you awarded all these millions of dollars to meet a 97% uptime? What did you do about it? And once again, they said, it's in the contract. So in other words, they didn't do anything about it. Okay, at FastCharge.Support, we take it seriously. We've looked at some NEVI projects. We're not working on any at the moment. It may not ever, but, and we do have DC fast chargers, but we looked at the numbers and we said, you know what's missing? You know what's broke? Most chargers. In some cases, 40 to over 60% of non-Tesla EV charging posts are broke in this country. I'm talking just the U.S. Do I have your attention? So what that says, okay, think of this, if you wake up every morning and you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same results that you got over and over again. That's unacceptable. So we've created a concierge service to make sure that our product is up over 97% of the time. And part of that starts with a solid state breaker, okay? These use something called circuit breakers, okay? You probably knew that. You got circuit breakers at home. We have solid state. They're actually called a mag switch. They're magnetically controlled, but they're solid state. We can reset them remotely. Think about that, okay? You don't have to take a trip to the basement or the garage or the back room and pry open a panel, move stuff out of the way, pry open the panel, try to figure out, get a flashlight, figure out which breaker popped and reset it. No, we do all that remotely. But guess what? We also physically go visit our chargers and say, hey, what's up? Is the handle broke? I studied this app called PlugShare, and I'm amazed at how many charging stations have broke handles. Sometimes they say, well, somebody's taped it together and it seems to be working now. What they're trying to say is, look, if you're going to depend on this charger to get your charging, get where you need to go, be careful, okay? Right now, somebody's taped the handle together and it's working, but that may not be true shortly. Hey, that's the bottom line. If we can help, reach out. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Rhino Island Media. That's also the website, rhinoisland.media.